All right, we'll make a start. So, welcome to the introduction for the video series. I just wanted to say a big thank you to you as a viewer for choosing to engage with this content. It does mean a lot to me. Any feedback that you have, this will be extremely valuable. So, as you go through the video series, keep those thoughts, keep those reflections, and if you're willing to share those with me, that would be really, really helpful. So, thank you for that. But anyway, so this video is completely optional. We're not going to be covering any kind of exam technique in this video. This one is just to show you what you can expect, what this isn't for, and the breakdown of how things are going to go. So you can see here on the screen, what is this video series about? Well, it's to break down the process of answering those 10-mark non-item questions into manageable steps. You have already experienced writing the 10-mark answers, in mock assessments and just assessments in class. So you'll be aware that you'll have two types of 10-mark questions. For example, in your culture and identity paper, one will have an item, one won't have an item. This video series is focused on helping you answer 10-mark questions without the item. So what is this video series actually going to involve? So a combination of knowledge and activities for exam writing. So there's going to be guidance, I guess you could say, information that your teacher would want to pass on to you, or that I would want to pass on to you. Things that you need to know, such as assessment objectives, where you get your marks, what you need to do and what you shouldn't be doing. And it's going to be combined with activities. So activities that would help you answer a question. Each video is going to have its own activity, well, apart from this one. And the idea is that you complete that activity and then you can move on to the next video. And the eventual end goal here is to write one cool paragraph for a 10-mark non-item question. This is all going to be done at your own pace. There's no timed assessments in this guide, although we will get onto it in a bit. Timed assessments are equally as important as this video series. So what the video series is not about, we're not going to be covering subject content. Or I should say, we're not going to be covering subject content that you haven't already been taught. Everything that you need to answer the questions for culture and identity has already been provided to you. You've already gone through all the content in class and you've moved on now to a different topic. So that means there's nothing that you shouldn't have already covered, and you will have everything you need, basically. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have notes with you when you're answering these questions. In fact, I would encourage you to. This is not a memory test. This is not an exam. This is an invitation for you to start writing paragraphs in a more relaxed environment, but to get you over that writing hump or that writing anxiety that students sometimes have when they're worried about getting it wrong, so they just start over. And then second, this isn't timed exam skills. So you'll know if you don't have extra time, you will have 15 minutes to write a 10-mark answer. The video series is longer than 15 minutes. Therefore, logically, we're not trying to get you to write an answer in 15 minutes. This is the video series that helps you get over that writer's block initially. But timed exam skills are something that you have to develop in a different way. And that might be timing yourself when you're writing an answer. That might be going to the support sessions where they have timed assessments and getting used to that. That's a completely separate skill. So please keep that in mind. Okay, with all that being said, let's look at the breakdown as to what the video series is going to involve. So if we can get this in the frame. So I tried to do some semblance of a pyramid here. Hopefully that's good. So each video is a specific focus. And the video above that goes up, you can see here, that video kind of requires the previous video, or at least the ability that you would gain from that video itself. So, for example, video 1, you're just going to be covering the 10-mark non-item questions and understanding them, the differences. If you are already comfortable with that, then you might want to go straight to video 2. And if you're comfortable with decoding the 10-mark questions, then you might go into video 3. The whole point here is each video requires you to have knowledge of the previous one. And if you're starting from a place where you aren't confident, the whole video series might be useful to you. If you just need help writing cool paragraphs, then you might want to go straight there. This is for you. This is for you to use how you need to use it. Okay, I'm not telling you how to use it. I've given you all these videos here for you to use if you need them, but you might not need them all. And then finally, we've already touched on this, but I wanted to just quickly show you this diagram here, the sides to exam preparation. So you can see, let's see if we can highlight this. This is what we're trying to do here. Exam writing practice. But this is only part of it. If you only spend your time practicing writing exams, but not considering the time in which you're giving yourself to write them, you're going to go into the exam and you're going to run out of time, or you're not going to give yourself enough time, or whatever. And then the second part is going to be the timed condition practice. This is also extremely important. You need both. If all you do is try and write answers in timed conditions, but you don't have the confidence or the skills required at that time to write A-star answers, then all you're going to do is just spend 15 minutes writing an answer, and you won't be able to tell if you've managed to follow a structure. Like I said, both of them are extremely important to be exam ready. Okay, so that pretty much covers the introduction. So each video will have its own title, so you'll know which one you're clicking on when you watch it. Again, it's down to how you want to engage with that. All I will say is what we're trying to do here is I'm trying to gain understanding as to how students revise and how these videos might be used as part of, your available tools for revision. So again, like I said at the start, if this is something that you feel comfortable to share with me, how you revise normally and your thoughts, your feelings, reflections, whatever, I would love to hear back from you. I truly mean that. So I hope this introduction kind of gives you a clear understanding as to what you can expect, because I know time is precious. So we'll finish it there. If you have any questions about this or any subsequent videos that you watch, you can always contact me on Teams or Outlook, and I'd love to discuss it with you. So I'll see you in the next video. Take care.